Memorial Day weekend is just about upon us, and it is a very busy time of year for boaters. And on the couch with me today, I'm honored to have Bradford Hyde and Bill Bowen from the Coast Guard Auxiliary, and also Maureen Johnson, active duty Coast Guard. Represent. We are all here today, and we want to talk about safety when it comes to a busy time of year. First of all, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Really appreciate it. And if we can talk about some important things to maybe help turn our viewers on to safety coming in the foreground of their mind when they're involved with boating this weekend, I think that is a good goal.
Absolutely.
You were talking while we were in the commercial break there that a lot of people tend to use kayaks and personal watercraft, things like that. How important is safety when it comes to that?
Absolutely vital. You know, I mean, it's great that the weather's starting to change. Summer is coming, finally.
I know.
But, you know, the air temperature is extremely deceptive. The water is very, very cold, and hypothermia can set in very quickly. So, you know, when people are using their paddlecraft or on their recreational boats, it's so important that they wear their life jackets. You know,
right.
No one expects to have something bad happen when they go out on the water, just like you don't leave your house expecting to get in a car accident.
But wear a seatbelt, right?
Absolutely. Things do happen, and actually wearing your life jacket is so vital. That is your lifeline if you go in the water. So that's the
I know,
most
and I've been
thing.
looking. Some of the water temperatures are only in the 50s out there. Talk to us about this sticker here. I don't know if any of you want to chime in about, you know, safety when it comes to what this is all about.
These are if found stickers.
Okay.
Basically for kayakers and paddle boarders. If you have one, you need to have one of these stickers on your vessel. It gives the name, phone number, phone contacts, address. So if we find a paddle board or a kayak floating someplace, we'll know who to contact. So it may prevent a SAR case from happening because
Search
we know
and rescue.
Right. So we know who to call.
And someone else could need that emergency assistance, but yet they may waste all their time looking for something that just drifted away out into the water. And I know we've had times before too when the weather is very important, so people need to check the weather before they get out there. And what are some of the other safety tips? Now, he said at the end, he's like, I'm just here to, you know, what do you want to chime in about? I mean, there is a lot to cover.
It's Connecticut, it's New England weather. It changes, as you very well know,
That's
just
right.
like that. So it's important for boaters to stay aware of what's going on with the weather, and that way they can be prepared, you know, so that...
Right. Now, talk about, there is a law, or I know the Coast Guard will inspect and search about how many personal flotation devices are on the vessel for how many people are on there. How does that work?
Yep, absolutely. So everybody who is on board a vessel has to have a life jacket on board that vessel, and that includes paddlecraft. You have to have a life jacket. You have to have a sound-producing device when you're out there, so something like a whistle. But it is, you know, every single person has to have a life jacket. And if not, the Coast Guard's going to escort you back to the dock, and you're going to have to go get one.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's very important. What about flares? We use these flares for safety if you get in trouble, or give people an idea about that.
Well, flares have an expiration date, and a lot of boaters don't understand that.
Okay.
So you have to check your flares to make sure that you're in compliance with the date. Okay. Flares are very important. Some have daylight and nighttime settings. So one's smoke for the daytime, and the other is a fire or flare for the for evening and nighttime. A lot of people don't understand that. They just get it. There's bumps on either end that will tell you which one's which at night.
Okay, so you know which side, right.
Yes.
But it's important to know about that expiration date.
And to know how to use it before you need it.
That too.
So there's always instructions on the packaging. Make sure you read that before you need it so you're ready to go in an emergency.
Now, between the three of you, you've been doing this for a while. What are the common mistakes or things that you see out there? What's the most important you can get across to our viewers?
Sure. You know, using vessels can be pretty simple, but the environment you're in is very complex. It's more complicated than driving a car. The road's not going to bump around underneath you, and you're really exposed to the elements out there. So know the weather before you go out. Tell someone where you're going and when you're going to be back.
That's important.
Yes, absolutely. And make sure you're wearing your life jacket at all times.
And also, I'm sure we could talk another 30 minutes because I told them we're going to be out of time with this segment. But people that drink out there, we know just from sitting in the studio here, we've had stories in the past few years. That's important too.
Alcohol is the leading cause of death out there on the water.
Yes.
Do not boat and drive or do not boat and drink. You know, in the same way you would not drive and drink. So it's a tragic circumstance every time that it happens.
All right. Any website or anything where people can get safety? I know the Coast Guard has things out there if you search it as well.
Coast Guard Auxiliary also has a website.
Awesome.
It's cgaux.org.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank each of you, too.
Thank you so much.
I know it is a very busy time coming up. Let's hope the weather cooperates.
Absolutely.
We've earned it at this point.
For any of your staff that have paddlecraft or kayaks,
Okay.
use those stickers.
And where can people find these, just quickly?
You can contact any Coast Guard unit or any Coast Guard auxiliary flotilla on the website.
Okay.
Call them.
Yep.
ask
Wonderful.
them, Tell them you want an inspection and you want a sticker.
Or a Sharpie right on the hull of your boat. Anything
too.
to label it. You don't have to have a sticker. Anything you can do to label it.
Save time and make it safe for everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks to all of you for coming out today.
Thank
Really
you.
Thank you.
appreciate it. And safe
Thank you.
boating.